Huh. Doesn't update. And then Q&A. Okay. I think we're up. Back at it. How's everyone doing? Yeah. And almost Happy New Year to everyone. All the people who celebrate Chinese New Year. Yeah. Do you have any plans for that or? Nice. Yeah, I think we're doing dinner as well, and we're having. I think we're doing takeout. My mom's favorite is there's this place that does it's like a truffle chicken or something like that. It's so good. Yeah. It's at New Mandarin. I think we talked about New Mandarin before. It's not exactly the most value or the best value, but some of the dishes are quite good. Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Do you want to select a ride for us?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm just figuring out the audio here. Check, check. I might be a little loud. There we go. Check, check. Can you do a quick check? Check, check.
Yeah, check.
There we go. Perfect. Okay.
Awesome.
Just do a regular cadence ride again.
Sure, let's do that. 2.5?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll jump in first.
I am in.
What? So I pressed it.
So how have you been? Like, what have you been up to? What's new?
Our current obsession is our dog.
Nice.
We've had her for
your little puppy.
Yeah, a little puppy. She's like 1 year old. We picked her up on Sunday, and then she's just been the sweetest thing. And my little heart has never been so full.
Nice. Have you had a dog before?
Never. Ever since we were kids, we wanted dogs. And obviously Mom's like, you guys aren't going to walk it? It's going to be me that ends up doing all the work. Which is true. But she's been really good so far. And I think warming up to us. Yeah. So
How old is she? How many weeks?
She's a year old. And she must have been rescued when she was quite a bit smaller. Her story is that she was found. So maybe I'll backtrack. A
bit more context.
Yeah. So we got her from an organization called Free Korean Dogs, and these dogs are from Korea, and typically they're unfortunately taken and kind of killed for their meat. So there's like a dog meat trade there, and her and her puppies I guess, cited to be part of that meat trade, and they were rescued. So she had a little bit of a trust issue that we've been just pouring so much love into her that she really warmed up, and like even little things like walking, where she was nervous at first, now she's doing a little bit of it, and we're super proud of her. Yeah. Like I said, I think I'm gonna become one of those crazy dog people that can't stop talking about their dogs. I'm looking at it right now. Hi. So sweet.
Is she decided, or is she in her bed or crib?
Yeah, we got her just like a simple, kind of almost circular shaped ones from Winners.
Yeah.
And even the first 2 days, she wanted nothing to do with it. She just like hung out in her carrier for the first, I think, 5 to 8 hours, and we're like, okay, that's enough. And it was such a long flight that she peed inside the carrier.
Mhm.
And then we're like, no, that's no good. So we unzipped it. And when we left the house, we were looking in our security camera, and she finally hopped into the bed, and that was her like absolute favorite place.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you think that she was like scared of going for a walk or getting out of the house because she's seen her other puppies basically once they leave, they don't come back?
Maybe. She does seem to stay in one place for an extended period of time, and looking at the pictures and videos of where they found her, like it was like a tiny little doghouse, like outdoors, and then inside a kind of small yard with like cinder blocks surrounding it.
Mhm.
So I think she's used to being kind of confined, so we've been trying to be mindful that, to keep like an open space so she doesn't feel like it doesn't kind of like trigger any of that trauma from before. So
That's cool.
yeah.
So what was sort of like the process like of like adopting a dog like across the country? Sorry, not country, across the world.
Yeah.
Like what was the process? Like how you guys found these agencies and how you guys like managed to finally get the dog in your hand?
Yeah. I'm gonna say thanks to Leona for that one, because she did pretty much all the legwork. We applied to a few, and then I think one of the issues with our place isn't particularly big. There's no yard or anything like that, and we initially thought we wanted a medium-sized dog.
Yeah.
And but then I think something just spoke to Leona about her, and then we put in the application. It's not a short application. It's like pretty lengthy, because I think obviously agencies want to filter and make sure that the dogs go to a good place. So a lot of things like, hey, what do you do? What's your lifestyle like? They really did an amazing job of matching the lifestyle to the dog, because at the end of the day, I mean, if we're to be honest, it's usually the people that are the problem, not the dog.
Right.
Barring barring any past trauma or whatnot. Usually it's the person that needs to be trained. So, and then for this little girl, it was pretty fast process. Like, I think it was Friday Leona applied, and then she was already on her, already had a flight booked the week after to Vancouver, so regardless, she would have been adopted here. And then got the first interview, and then second home interview where they take a look at your home to see if it's suitable.
Wow.
And then we got the good news, and the owner was over the moon.
Nice. So then, like, do they just basically just ship the dog over, or like someone has to physically bring her over?
Yeah, they have this amazing group of volunteers. I still don't know how they do it because they have someone that accompanies the dog. So our round, there were 2 other dogs, and there's this girl who came accompanied them, and then they have another volunteer locally that came to clear the customs paperwork, because that takes the longest.
Yeah.
And then now she's here. That was
amazing.
So it's only been from the start of the process until now, or until we got her, was probably like literally 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah. But I feel like we might be an exception where she was already planned. There were already plans to move her over.
Mhm.
Yeah. Has your family ever had any pets or anything like that?
No, like no dogs, no cats, or anything. So
it's not for everyone.
It's pretty interesting. I just know a lot of different stories on how people got their puppies and whatnot. So I guess for you guys, are there any like preparation in terms of like getting the dogs like vaccinated and stuff like that you guys need to do?
Yeah, we were worried about that, but again, 3 Korean dogs, they were so good. They took care of everything, and before they send the dogs off, they have a medical checkup for the dogs. And we didn't have to do anything. We do eventually have to go into the vet to start to make sure that everything's normal, but it's just like I guess similar to how we would go in for a physical. I'm sorry, girl. I'm gonna scare you there. But other than that, she seems healthy, and she's adapting to the dog food we give her quite well.
So then, like, they basically give her all the vaccines they usually get as a puppy, or not yet?
I mean, they give us like for example, this is her health certificate. So this is from the Ministry of Agriculture, and says her the name of the consignee, like the lady bringing her over, species and breed, and then vaccination. There's the rabies vaccination.
Yeah.
There's the microchip number. There is on the other sheet there were a few other ones. There's like also like canine coronavirus that they have to vaccinate for. So yeah.
So she's all vaccinated now, or not yet?
She is at least
awesome.
In terms of the current schedule that she's supposed to be on. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good. And then how is it like in terms of like the cost compared to getting a puppy from a breeder? Or versus like going to like SPCA here?
I think in terms of cost, the lowest will probably be SPCA. At least from what we gathered the first few times we applied, and then I think with the lower cost there is more people making applications. Definitely not as expensive as going to a breeder,
Yeah.
I'm guessing the breeders probably have their own specialties that they can charge a little bit more for, but free Korean dogs, they're non-profit. They just cover the cost of the flight, vaccinations, and yeah, I think that's how they're able to save on those costs.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned that there are like lots of organizations like that, right?
Yeah, I think there's a lot out there, but I think everyone has a different kind of DNA or like approach. So after seeing how a few of them operate, I think we found that these FKD free Korean dogs, they were our favorite.
Yeah.
I highly recommend them, and they do lots of follow up too. So for example, there was a dog that was adopted, and then I think the family had a kid, so they ended up just leaving the dog in the garage for most of the time. And then,
What?
yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna judge, right? Like priorities change. I also won't excuse those owners for doing that, but they ended up taking the dog back because they were saying, hey, maybe this isn't a good fit right now. So that dog is back up for adoption right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How about like, I've heard a lot of people, you probably know this way more than I do, because I know you have a background and is one of the expertise in like insurance. I know a lot of people recommend getting like pet insurance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? And do you guys have it?
Yeah. I looked into that as well, and I've heard of other people's experiences. So, for example, there's like accident and illness insurance, or just accident. I think I looked into quotes and whatnot. I think Costco does it. I think it's called Petline, and you can insure your dog for around like $60 a month for both accident and illness, and I think it goes up to $7,500 of coverage a year.
Right.
If you want more, of course, you can pay more. And then if it's just accidents, like $22. But of course, hearing from experience from a friend who had their dog's stomach pumped after eating chocolate.
Right.
One visit like that's like $500.
Okay.
So you're roughly talking about 10 months of insurance money for that one visit. So I think it depends on people's ability to pay, and also the age and the health of the dog. I think for us, it might make more sense just to set aside like a fund for her.
Right.
And that way we can grow it if we don't need it. And if she does need it, then it's already set aside for her. It seems like a better, from a risk standpoint, we figure she's probably lower risk. But yeah, we have to be careful because we heard stories of like dogs adjusting to life here and they run away. So we for part of free Korean dogs. Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's mandatory to have a 1-year subscription to the GPS service.
Okay.
So anytime you go out, if she bolts, at least you have her location. And can go grab her. And they have a very stringent policy of when you walk them, that you have a harness and a collar and another kind of training collar,
right.
Just so that you have that like extra backup backup safety protocol in place in case like the harness slips off or the collar slips off.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
How do you know that? So is the GPS on her collar, or is it embedded in her?
No, it has to be either on the collar or the harness. The GPS, do I have it here? No, not here. It's like maybe like this big.
Right.
So kind of hard. Even on her neck, I think she's pretty small. Might be uncomfortable, so put on the harness.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. But enough about my dog.
No, it's a super interesting story, and it's like a new chapter. It's like almost like a kid, right? A kid for you guys.
Yeah.
Like, how about just in terms of like your lifestyle and whatnot? Like, has anything changed because of this puppy?
I don't think so, because I'm home most of the time, and when I do go out, I make sure to take her to go pee before, and then she can last quite a long time. Like even the first couple days, we put down pee pads, thinking that she'd be too scared to go outside to pee, and she didn't go, and we got really worried. And then so I was like, okay, even though you're shaking, I'm gonna put on all the harnesses and stuff, go to the grass, and immediately she went to the bathroom. So she was holding it for probably, including the flight, like over 2 days. And obviously, like, she's got a tiny little bladder, so probably we don't want that to happen. But knowing her capacity, like, I think every time if I have to be out and drive by home, I'll drop by and make sure to let her pee. But most days I'm home anyway, so it's been pretty good.
And I guess you guys also have like cameras, so you can see if she's doing okay and whatnot, right?
Yeah. So my sister has a cat, and then we got her a pet camera that can also shoot out food.
Yeah, I've seen those people. Those are pretty cool.
Those people that can't stop talking about their pets. So we don't have that yet. I don't know if it's necessary, but we do have cameras at home, and we're thankful that our neighbors are really kind. Pretty close-knit community, and
nice.
A couple of them have pets also. So hopefully
when
she gets comfortable enough, we can do a pet social or something.
Yeah. I guess for those who's tuning in right now, or they'll be watching it later on, and if they're ever like interested or curious about adopting a pet or a puppy, I think you can comment and ask all the questions, and then during our next time, Hansel can follow up on those inquiries and whatnot people might ask.
And maybe I can start a poll.
Yeah.
What kind of dog pet do you have? Dog? Cat? I don't know. Other.
Yeah. And the next time we can follow up. Man, well, thanks for sharing that story. Like, I'm like super intrigued on like the entire process and like how to become a new pet owner and whatnot.
Thanks, dude.
And anything you want to add on or anything like that before we wrap up?
I think in terms of pets, probably just, I think they'll change your life for the better more than you think. Like, I did not expect to have this much fun, like, despite having played with other people's pets before. And seeing her growing confidence with like the smallest things, like even grabbing a treat like halfway across the room, like she'll whine and kind of like turn back to her bed, regroup, go try again, go back, regroup, and then finally you get in and you're like, oh my goodness. It's amazing that way.
That's so satisfying to see.
Yeah, so maybe, hopefully, she's gonna have confidence that one of these days I can take her out on a bike ride. Maybe I'll strap her to my back or something, and then it can be a excellent incentive for people to join the ride.
Yeah.
Catch up with the dog.
Well, give us some updates in a week's time to see if there are any changes, which I feel like there will, because that's in only 8 days, and there has been so much progress with her already.
Yeah. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right, wrap up.
Okay.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Have a good weekend.
We'll catch you guys next week.
Take care. Bye.